We're going to spend a lot of time this week talking about tiebreakers. Doesn't sound that exciting, but actually it was at Major League Baseball's All-Star break. It's Chris and Ash, Onorato, and Miller. We'll look ahead to the second half of the Major League Baseball season as well. Yankees and Mets both in playoff position. Can they hang on to that? Significant move, I think, in the middle of the week in the NBA in terms of a player changing teams in the Western Conference and how maybe that swings in the Los Angeles Clippers' favor in particular. A couple of guests on this week's show, too. President of the Capital Region Football Hall of Fame, Nick Fitzgerald, will join us to talk about the induction ceremony coming up on August 9th. Sean Wilcoxon from Performance Industrial to talk about a really interesting charity golf tournament that great company is running at Van Patten on July 28th. So just a lot of stuff going here. And the Jets spend money big. Yeah. Which I think says a lot about how they feel
about their young guys
the next few years. Yeah, for sure. Anything else, Ash?
No.
All right.
About covers it.
Let's go.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpenhaus.
We're live on a Wednesday night. If you're catching us on TV or after the fact on News Channel 13's Facebook and YouTube, we stream live every single week on social media.
Sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays.
Yep, Wednesday this week.
Depends on our work schedules.
The All-Star game is in the books. The National League wins, which is rare on its own. And on top of that, we saw something at a baseball all-star game we had never seen before, and that was a swing-off tiebreaker. Game tied at 6 after 9 innings. We're not going to play extra innings, although I think you could now with the international runner rule, and it would be done soon enough. Either way, we're also not going to end this thing in a tie the way we did in Milwaukee years ago.
Right.
So we come up with this idea, which is what they should have used in the home run derby to determine whether Cal Raleigh or Brent Rooker moved along from the first round. We'll get to that in a moment. We do a swing off, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, when you first hear about it, I always think, we're taking away from like the purity of the game, but you're not, because the All-Star game is already like next level, something different, something special, something fun. So let's just make it fun. Make it what it is. It was super fun. It's for the fans. This is perfect. It is like a mini version of the home run derby that we saw the night before. So yeah, I think it was really cool. It's a good idea. It's short. It's painless. And the guys were into it, which if the guys are into it, then the fans are into it. Easily solved.
Exactly. Yes. We say it about the NBA. If the players are invested, the fans will be equally, if not more so, invested. And you're right. Just simply watching Schwarber's home runs as he went 3 for 3. So before the game even starts, each manager chooses
and so hard
3 players and says, these are going to be my swing off guys. And
so what I read here quickly was that, which I find kind of hard to believe,
each guy gets 3 pitches to then hit as many home runs as he could.
Yeah, but starters generally shower and take off.
Not generally.
And they are gone long before the game is ever over.
Correct. So you're not going to pick Aaron Judge.
You're not picking those guys who you're playing early on in the game because people are out. So that's kind of an interesting strategy, because who's left on your bench? Who are the guys who aren't probably going to play, who have the chance to do it?
Yep. Or who play late, right? Like, and every manager going into this thing knows, I want to get every guy into the game. Right. So you have to have a real detailed game plan of how many innings for this guy, how many at-bats for this guy. I've got 4 first basemen I need to work into the game here somehow. And so great to have Schwarber, a person like Kyle Schwarber, available for the National League.
He's the perfect guy.
Yeah, ran Brent Rooker out there. They ran
Arozarena.
Okay, and then Aranda. Okay,
and then Aranda.
Okay,
Arozarena hit 1, I think.
Yeah, yep. And Pete Alonso did not have to hit for the National League. I thought it was a great idea. It worked well. I don't know that we'll see it again because it was a tie game.
Right. It's kind of a cool.
And a 6-0 lead for the National League, which they blew.
Mm-hmm.
And we end up getting this, which I agree. Baseball is figuring some stuff out here. Like some of the rule changes in the regular season are working to real success.
And you didn't like them?
I didn't like
for the most part
all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which ones I didn't.
You didn't like the bigger bases.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I said that?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't like the international runner rule, and I still don't like it.
Yeah.
But I thought I liked the pitch clock and the bigger base because the bigger base led to more steals or steal attempts and that type of stuff.
I think you were under the thing of like, no, that's stupid. Like, why? What is? I mean, realistically, what is it? It does make a difference, but realistically,
okay.
I don't know. Just like making things bigger seems like a weird way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. But yeah, baseball is
mound visits
is working right now. Pickoff attempts. There are a bunch of things. Okay, you put something else in here too. Now, where do I have to go down to find it? No, I don't. Below. Here we go.
Right there.
ABS.
Automatic braking system.
Yeah. We will see this in the very near future in Major League Baseball. It's currently being used.
I mean, they're saying next year.
In the minor leagues. Yeah, I believe it will be next year. And it was fun to watch the guys kind of going through the process of, should I challenge that or not? And I forget if it was, I think it was a Tarek Skubal pitch. And it was bottom of the zone. And even watching it live, I thought, that's a strike. It was called a ball. And so Cal Raleigh challenges it. But the funny part was...
it was a strike 3, right?
Yes, it was. Cal Raleigh and Skubal have earpieces in. They're talking to the broadcast booth of Joe Davis and John Smoltz. And so Skubal throws the pitch. And Smoltz and Davis both immediately are like, that's a strike, guys. Challenge it. And so Cal Raleigh, I mean, I think he probably would have anyway, but he challenges it. It can't come from the dugout.
Right. Has to come from, well, here's the thing. It's worded. It's not supposed to come from the dugout or any other players. It's supposed to be unassisted by like the battery. Right. Well, they just so happen to have the broadcast guys in their ear. So that wasn't quite
at shortstop, you've got one of these going. Jacob Wilson of the A's, like basically, challenge that thing. They did. It was a strike. It was the first time it was used. The infamous
challenge call.
And right, exactly. And it ended up working. So there will always be a home plate umpire. And whether or not it's a ball or a strike will be buzzed down to them. They will call ball or strike next year with this ABS system, and then you'll get challenges. Yeah.
That's pretty stupid.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, for them, it's just about to be pretty boring. Like, hey, yep.
Yeah.
Like, what am I here for? Just blindfold me.
Somebody slides into
I get it.
Home or a fair foul call or whatever. Carol's checking in. We got Oliver on YouTube and Sam as well. Good to have you guys with us this week on Onorato and Miller. All right, so let's talk about the other tiebreaker now. And this one is just stupid. Cal Raleigh, who ends up winning the home run derby, and for better, he advanced because of this measurement tiebreak over the A's Brent Rooker. So what they did was they were tied at 17 after the first round, and I guess the tiebreak is longest home run. And Cal Raleigh hit one 470.61 feet, and Brent Rooker hit one 470.53 feet. Now, there's nobody running from home plate out to the spot where the ball lands with a tape measure. Right. So it is all done. And I believe technology can be pretty darn close on this stuff. But there's no way it's good enough to measure less than an inch.
0.08 feet.
To be accurate here.
That's horse.
This is less than an inch, people. So this is stupid. Yeah. You're already doing a home run derby, right? The purpose is to hit. Just
keep going.
The tiebreak, what we saw in the All-Star game. And whether it's 3 swings or 10 swings.
Or 1, who cares? Go 1 for 1 every time.
How many can you hit and that person moves on? This was, for all the praise we just gave, this was a miss.
That was a dumb one.
This was a miss by Major League Baseball. It just, Mike's checking in as well. We got Brian going.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Bri.
And Jeff Casey as well. Yeah,
Jeffrey.
I know Thursday. That one's going to be tough for me, Jeff, but I am going to try. I'm going to try.
You should. Seinfeld at night.
Yeah.
Track during the day.
Yeah.
Oh, what a day.
Yeah, Ithaca Day. And obviously it's a special one for all the guys who will remember Big Dave Casey. Sam says, didn't watch a minute of the Derby or the game.
I can't believe you say total garbage.
Pete Alonso hit a 3-run home run.
It's Sam. It's the best All-Star game, bar none, times a million, trillion, zillion. It's the only one I will ever watch.
It's the best one. There's no doubt about it because it still always feels like baseball.
Yeah.
And
it always feels
even
like fun
though
too.
It's so like there's no longer the black and white divide of the American League and the National League. The colors have blended here and blurred, but we still don't
so
always.
They're not. You mean they're not wearing the same uniform?
No. I mean, we still don't always get Paul Skeens, Aaron Judge. Back in the day, the All-Star game was great because you're like, I've never seen Randy Johnson pitch to Mark McGwire.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thing, of course. We
or
saw
very
that
rarely with interleague.
But we still last night or Tuesday night got Paul Skeens against Aaron Judge and Tarek Skubal against Shohei Ohtani. Like we don't see that often. Mm-hmm. And even when we do get it in the regular season, how many people are putting on Tigers Dodgers?
I know.
Right? Not a lot. So that for me is always like the intrigue of the All-Star game is to get some of these pitcher batter matchups we don't generally get. And to your point, it is the only All-Star game that is still played the way the sport is supposed to be played. Other
than the swing off.
Yeah, correct. Now, I will watch a little bit of the NBA All-Star game. I get that many people don't, and now I really don't like it. What they're doing new here in terms of a round robin type thing. The hockey thing is ridiculous, and there is no more Pro Bowl anymore anyway. So baseball is the one to watch.
Put up Sam's comment.
He says, then why do the players leave after a few innings? Can't even save the entire game.
Because they've been there all weekend. They've gone to the home run derby and walked the red carpet. And everyone else in the entire league is getting 4 or 5 days off. And I'm not making excuses, but they're now going to go enjoy a day or two off with their families and get out and avoid the traffic.
And just because I'm saying it's worth watching or it's played the way an All-Star game should be played, right, doesn't mean that it really means anything. Yeah. So one Judge can't come back into the game. He doesn't need.
He's got a wife and a kid. He's got
for
better things to do.
The guys, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I just think like when you play that
doesn't bother me. The guys leave early.
When you play that many games in a year and you've got a chance to like breathe at home for 2 days with your family, I think that's pretty rare.
Yeah. All right, we're going long on this segment, but we're going to keep rolling here because I thought this was interesting.
Baseball.
After all the Juan Soto snub, missing out on a $100,000 bonus. The Rangers are giving Nathan Eovaldi his $100K, despite not being voted or selected in any other capacity for the All-Star game. And you can see his numbers here. He's had a really good year. He's 9 innings short of qualifying for that ERA crown. Right?
Yep, he was hurt for a month.
Yep. And look, Ronald Acuna Jr. missed significant time at the beginning of the year. He was voted in. Would the Braves have given Acuna $100,000? I bet not. But I say good on the Rangers here. DeGrom made the game. He got $100K. Eovaldi didn't make the game. Texas feels like he should have been recognized in that way. We're going to give them money. Good for them.
Yeah, I think.
Good for them.
Number one, Nathan Eovaldi hasn't made the money and hasn't gotten the contracts that Ronald Acuna Jr. has and will. But $100,000 probably means a little more to Nathan Eovaldi. Certainly more than it will to Juan Soto. Juan Soto doesn't need $100,000. Nathan Eovaldi might need $100,000. The point being, his numbers would say he deserved to be there, and he wasn't. So his team is doing him a solid.
Yeah. Yep. And plenty of teams could afford to do this. If Steve Cohen wanted to give Juan Soto, of all owners,
I think he's like, I'm giving you $1 billion. So Steve pump the brakes. I'm not going to give you another $100.
Give him $100,000.
Yeah.
to say, hey, we know you weren't voted in, you weren't selected. We believe you're an all-star. To prove that, here is a little something.
Let me write you another check.
Okay. Yeah. Could do that. We will take a look at Aaron Judge's numbers here at the All-Star break. I'm telling you right now, and I did not believe this a few weeks ago, that AL MVP race
up for grabs
should be very, very tight. I don't know what the numbers are exactly in Vegas. I'll look.
His other numbers are too much better.
Ooh, they're not. Not the numbers that now matter in baseball. Because you're going to point to average, and that's not it anymore in baseball. All the other numbers are very close.
People make a big deal about average for us not
if you're going to hit 400.
Important as it
if you're going to hit 400 for sure.
Mean, you're going to hit 455, 355. That's pretty good.
Very good. Very good. Yep. But the OPS comes along with that for sure. Caitlin Clark sidelined on Wednesday night at the New York Liberty. What does that mean for her All-Star game status? Up in the air, certainly. 3-point shootout and the game itself, both of which, by the way, of course, are in Indiana. So you'd love to have
gotta have
the number one player in the sport on the court, but definitely when it's on her home court, you have to have her there. And again, our two guests, Nick Fitzgerald, Capital Region Football Hall of Fame, Sean Wilcoxon, Performance Industrial, about a charity golf tournament coming up in a little bit. We're back on Onorato and Miller right after this.
Grab the family and get on the water in style with a Barletta pontoon featuring the power of a Mercury outboard motor. You'll be slicing through the waves with a smoother, quieter ride, leaving you to relax and soak up the sun. Whether you're cruising with a family or tubing and skiing, Barletta and Mercury will give you the best ride on the lake. With their unmatched reliability and refined performance, Barletta and Mercury won't let anything hold you back from having a summer you'll never forget. So don't wait. Stop by Alpenhaus Boats and start your next adventure today. Check out our great selection on Route 30 in Amsterdam and online at alpenhausboats.com.
I'm Jeff Ukelek. I'm owner of Bev's, and we're a beverage center in upstate New York. You're just going to have that wow component when you come in, like, wow, look at this place. It's bright, it's clean, it has everything that I need. Consumer is king. Be able to provide them a friendly environment and a place to shop, no matter where they are, whether they're down here in Saratoga or whether they're up in Queensbury. You're always going to get the same experience when you shop at Bev's. At the end of the day, if you walk in these stores, you're going to see a lot of people that have a lot of pride.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Alpenhaus, Marcella's, Bev's, Novice, and Performance Industrial with us here every single week on Onorato and Miller. And Ash, you might be on the course Sunday. I know you're looking at the schedule to see if you can get to the...
My aunt is volunteering
again
at the golf tournament.
Love it.
Yeah. And then my parents will be there Friday and Saturday, I think.
Okay.
I have to work Friday. We have plans on Saturday. So my plan is to go Sunday. Of course, that looks like the worst of the weather days.
Right.
But yes, my plan is to go.
Sounds like late Sunday, though, from what Christina's saying. Like most of the weekend will be dry, and then late Sunday into Monday weather.
Yeah, and that's coming off the New York State Women's Amateur, which we just played downstate. Where was that? I think.
Yeah, they said the course, and I thought I'd have to look that up.
My guess is downstate, but I don't know. St. George's.
St. George's. Yep. And who won that one?
Hayden Knapp.
15-year-old.
South Glens Falls. Hayden Knapp. Look out. We've talked to her many a time on News Channel 13.
Yep.
Featured her as an athlete of the week. Covered her at the New York State Championships, where she came in second place, I believe. Second or third. Yeah, look out.
Yeah, second. Caitlin Clark is missing her 10th game this season. That's on Wednesday night at the Liberty. She was initially listed as, they're 8-5 with her, 4-5 without, or something like that. Initially listed as questionable in Brooklyn and then ruled out. She's supposed to be in the 3-point shootout on Friday night and then playing the All-Star game on Saturday night.
Something tells me.
Ooh, something tells you.
You're not playing in a game on Wednesday? Are you really going to play in an exhibition style? I mean, I know it's in Indiana. That's the biggest. There is going to be some kind of pressure on, number one, her, but number two, the franchise to roll her out there in some capacity.
And now, dirty, difficult, and done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
And so here's what I say to that as we bring you our performance industrial dirty difficult done this week. How difficult would it be to sell the WNBA All-Star Game weekend to fans without Caitlin Clark? I would not. Now, I'm not saying this happened. Okay. I would not put it past the Fever and the WNBA to say, we need Caitlin Clark available and healthy enough to do both the three-point shootout and play in the game for a little bit. Let's sit her Wednesday night.
But is that going to be good enough? Like, if she's
give her the break. Well, she was questionable and then ruled out, right? So
but
she
if
was
she's got a real injury. You risking her not playing in the second half of the season or in the playoffs for you? I get it. It's different.
By the way, this is so brutal. We, in the Capital Region, had a Yankee Trails bus taking fans from the Albany area down to Brooklyn Wednesday for Fever Liberty. Now,
bummer.
98% of the people on that bus were going only because Caitlin Clark was going to be here. If they offered up Liberty Sky or Liberty Storm, how many people are getting on that bus? Bummer. Very few. And
I mean, it's a chance to see Deb.
Hey, look, you're still going to see Stewart and Ionescu. Right. You're seeing really good players. Yep. Kelsey Mitchell is a good player for Indiana, and obviously Aaliyah Boston. But people are going to see Caitlin Clark. And I said this to my buddy Bill yesterday on the phone before the Fever even played and Clark got injured Tuesday night. I said, we got a bunch of people on the bus. Blah, blah. Could you imagine if she doesn't play?
You speak it into existence, and then it happens. You know how that happens, right? Could you
imagine if she doesn't play? Well, Sam says it's extremely difficult to sell the game.
I agree. Luckily for them, the tickets are already purchased. I think people who were planning to go, you're going no matter what, because now you're not going to sell the tickets for much money. Yeah. You go, you have fun, you see it. She'll be there. She just may not play. And you go in the hopes that you hold on to the tickets in the hopes that she's going to play. Yeah,
absolutely. If you're going, you go. Mm-hmm. You still have, world-class talent on the court there.
But yeah, it's especially because it's in Indiana, it is infinitely more difficult to not have her on the floor. Yeah. But it is very hard to sell without her.
Will you watch it either way? Will you watch it either way? Do you have any interest?
The three-point shootout, yeah.
Yeah, I would watch the three-point shootout.
The game, not really.
I love me some three-point shootout.
Yeah. And Ionescu's fun.
Yep.
But again, maybe only if she's in it. Like, I want to see them all go head-to-head. I'm not so sure about the game if she's not in it. But if Clark's in it, then I'll probably watch some of it.
Can I bet
a WNBA game?
The three-point shootout.
Oh. Chris is trying to see if he can bet the three-point shootout.
No. Doesn't look, at least not yet. I will check back on Friday. Otherwise, I'll have to go to my New Jersey source.
Black market.
To do something there. A little New Jersey action. Got to get with it, New York. Come on. So too many things we're not able to bet on in New York. Sam asked, well, he said he's going over to golf on Saturday, Pine Haven Country Club.
You'll see my parents there.
Carol wants to know, do you play golf?
I wouldn't say I play, Carol. I have recently played more than
me.
I have ever played. So I played once or twice last year, and I have played once this year so far. So no, I wouldn't say I golf, but I go out on occasion.
Okay.
I enjoy some golf.
Yeah, you do.
Until I wreck it into the woods or a lot of times I like best ball. And I don't necessarily keep score because my score would be like 1,000 over par. I don't even care. And if I get to like shot 6 or 7 on a hole, whoop, pick it up, put it in my pocket, walk to the next hole. I try not to let the game really get to me because it is a wildly frustrating game.
I do not enjoy it. Sam says go to Rivers, but my FanDuel won't let me.
He's got it right in his phone.
But maybe Rivers would let me do it. Even like different books like DraftKings and stuff will let you do different bets, and so maybe I need one. I can't have multiple betting apps. It's out of control. Joe's got the hookup. All right, I'll talk to my Paisan brother
Vintone, Frank,
and
Joe. All taking your bets for you.
We could see this coming, but I think the destination is what makes it interesting to talk about here. Bradley Beal is going to give back about $14 million of the $110 he's owed over the next 2 years. Nice guy, huh?
Not that bad.
That's the buyout.
Yep, I take
that's the buyout.
Stuff.
So he's still going to get $96 million over the next two. In the NBA, it's weird. They'll extend it over 5 years, but he's still going to get $96 million from the Phoenix Suns, who not play for the Phoenix Suns. And then he signed a 2-year deal worth like $11 or $13 million to play for the Clippers. So this Suns experiment of a big three was a complete disaster. Durant, Booker, Beal. None of it worked. And now Durant goes to Houston, immediate contender. Beal goes to the Clippers. And when you put him in there with Kawhi and Harden, they signed Brook Lopez. They made a trade that brought in John Collins. They're athletic. If they're healthy, they can really score.
They're big.
The Clippers are interesting. I like the move for them and what it does. The West just feels loaded, absolutely loaded right now. So that's what's happening in the NBA at not just obviously not the All-Star break. It's the off season. And I said too, I've said it previously, like we say about the NFL all the time, there's no off season. The NBA
no
is
real
going
off
to be like
season
that
in the NBA.
too. Yeah, there's always something to talk about. All right, the Capital Region Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony is coming up on August 9th. We've got the president, Nick Fitzgerald, to talk about the class of 2025 next, right here on Onorato and Miller.
I'm Jeff Ukelek. I'm owner of Bevs, and we're a beverage center in upstate New York. You're just going to have that wow component when you come in, like, wow, look at this place. It's bright, it's clean, it has everything that I need. Consumer is king. Be able to provide them a friendly environment and a place to shop, no matter where they are, whether they're down here in Saratoga or whether they're up in Queensbury. You're always going to get the same experience when you shop at Bevs. At the end of the day, if you walk in these stores, you're going to see a lot of people that have a lot of pride.
Imagine coming home after a long day and slipping into your own personal hot tub from Wellness Spas. Let the stress of the day melt away as you soak in the therapeutic benefits of the water. Our team at Alpenhaus wants to help you relax and enjoy the advantages of owning your very own hot tub. Now offering a whole new lineup from Wellness Spas, featuring models from their City Life and Peak Life lines. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs. Visit us at Clifton Park Center and Route 30 in Amsterdam.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
The Capital District Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony is coming up on August 9th, and we've got the president of that Hall of Fame with us here, Nick Fitzgerald, on Onorato and Miller. Nick, always good to see you, man. How are you?
Thanks. Yeah, doing great. I appreciate you having me. Thanks a lot. President is just the volunteer guy who does most of the work. So
the guy who just doesn't know how to say no. Yeah. You are elected president immediately that way.
I've got a nice card that says president. It's really nice.
Two of the head coaches, well, the two coaches going in this year are guys that I've gotten to know pretty well over my time here since moving to the Capital Region. They're obviously incredibly accomplished in the category of wins and championships, but they're just all around really good guys. Matt Schell from Burnt Hills, Boston Lake, Gary Vanderzee from Ravenna, Queens, Selkirk. That one feels like maybe the easiest of the bunch to say, yes, they for sure belong in this Hall of Fame.
Agreed. And both of them are already in another category. Gary's service to football, led the Section 2 committee in New York State for years. Yep. And Matt was just an amazing football player, Tom Ciaccio, back in Gloversville days when, they were running the table. But these two guys, class act, personified exactly what you want in high school football, 25 sectional appearances between the both of them, two different eras, which was kind of nice, even though Gary outlasted Matt a little bit. Gary's got that staying power, and Gary still looks the same. When I played against him in 1988.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not. He just looked really old then.
So two class acts and guys who just represent, Capital Region football. And that's pretty much what this committee was about, was picking those program makers, right? We have our Division I guys, we have our pro guys, but this is the epitome of what we want.
You know what I love about Gary? I mean, I don't know that I knew him for more than a minute, and he was already busting my chops, and I was happy to always give it right back to him. But yeah,
a great mentor through me for the years, and a great guy who always was there no matter what.
Yeah. So. You're putting a full team in as well, which is not uncommon, obviously. But what made the 91 Water Vliet squad so special?
You know, we had the great run there in Vliet in 90-91, 2 back-to-back state championships, and taking nothing away from 1990, but you had to make a decision which team. And 91 was kind of like the extension of 90. A lot of the same players, Jimmy Manning, you know, Class C Player of the Year. You know, they scored 457 points that year back in 1991 and gave up 52. I think that's, you know, that's simply amazing. And then they went to the New York State regional game before the state championship was in. And Coach Dan Reinfort let the whole team finally play. And what I mean by the finally play, I was on that staff. That group of kids played half of a game most of the year because the score was 44-0 at half. He let them play the New York State regional game against Saranac Lake, the full game, and it was 61-6. So if you put any kind of comparison on what they would have done statewide, there was the example. So they just had an amazing defense, not to mention the amazing offense they had, but you couldn't move the ball and you couldn't score on them.
The bench was as good as some team starters, is what you're saying.
You know, it was interesting between both of those teams. They only had about 22 kids each team, which is amazing. A lot of kids came back from the year before, and that was part of that 36-game winning streak. But that team just epitomized that extension of that 90 team as well.
Again, the Hall of Fame induction, the banquet, Capital Region Football Hall of Fame is August 9th. We have all the information on how to buy tickets, bottom of your screen and on our website, wnyt.com. Nick, a bunch of players are going in here. And look, I mean, the job of this committee cannot be easy because you have so many names, I imagine, that just get thrown out in the room amongst yourselves. But then the people, I'm sure, who text you, call you, email you, stop you in person and say, have you looked at this person's resume and what they did? How do you boil it down to 10, 12, however many you've got on the list here?
And that's the tough part, right? I mean, you have hundreds of nominees, which is great, and an amazing committee. You know, coaches from every era, officials, media people, just about everybody you can ask for on that committee to kind of help us out. So it is a hard decision every time. But here's what I kind of say: I think we've put in 13 years of doing this, or 12 years of doing this, 15 years total, but the number of inductions. We've only put in about 14 quarterbacks. So let's do the math. 14 quarterbacks of 100 years, right, of Section 2 football. And that's how many quarterbacks went in. So over the next 10 years, even if you're the next 3 or 4 quarterbacks, you're still the top 20 quarterback that went in. So I think that's some solace for people to realize that this thing takes time, right? And how do you pick these players? It's a lot on just the history. Many times as the years before, they've gotten votes and we kind of keep them on the list and keep them going, but you can't put everybody in because, that's you'll be there for 9 hours running a Hall of Fame event. But what I liked about this group is the ties, not only the connections, the Amsterdam ties, right? There's 2 Amsterdam players going in. There's 2 Saratoga guys going in. There's 2 Ravenna guys going in. More than anything, the ties to the local sports programs, RPI. We've got, Dan Cole, just simply amazing in RPI. Matt Robbins, amazing in RPI. Matt Vittengill, all 3 Hall of Famers at RPI. You got a University of Albany tie-in, and you also have the Albany Conquest and the Arena Football and Albany Firebird tie-in there. So I really like this group because it has all of those connections with that. You had 3 or 4 players playing in the Arena League as well, with Matt Sala, Matt Vittengill, Dan Cole. So pretty neat to see that all connection come through, and even have an official on this group that was from 1972 when he started. I was 2 years old and he's still officiating. So pretty neat to see all the history and the nostalgia with the group. So it is difficult for sure, but this group has a special connection, I think, in many ways to Section 2 football.
And I'm sure there are people out there, the quarterbacks get a lot of love and attention. To hear only 14 so far, there are plenty of linemen out there who are saying, okay, yes, not every ceremony.
And that's probably the toughest thing with this committee is picking the linemen, right? Because you don't know in the 60s, 70s, and 80s who really stuck out. And I give our committee guys, they really dig deep in terms of finding players of the year and all section football teams. And we really create a great list. Again, there's hundreds of players in that list. And it's so neat to kind of get everybody together, from Bob Ford and Tommy Heintzelman and Mike Cronin and Mike Aquino and Rich Becker and Jack Berger, Mark Gillespie, the list kind of keeps going on, Alex Mancini, and getting in that room. Sometimes you got to pull them back because they love to talk about the history of everything, which is pretty neat from the perspective of everything. And you got to say, okay, let's go back to the voting at this point. And Steve Grannon and Pete Tobey Scott McKay do a great job of really, getting those abstract players that we wouldn't have kind of known. One on here is Don Wemple. Don Wemple's in the 30s from Gloversville, another great one from Gloversville, who actually, he went to Colgate, was an All-American at Colgate, and then played on this all-college team in the country that played NFL teams for warm-up games.
Wow.
And he was on the team with Dave Smuckler, who was in the last time. Dave Smuckler was also from Gloversville, and Pop Warner got quotes in the paper saying he was just as good as Jim Thorpe, if not better. So you think about the history. And Don played on that team. And the history with him is he went back and played for the local semi-pro team and then got called into the Army, to get drafted. And he went on a flight to deliver some things in China, and his plane got shot down. And when he was taken out of the plane and survived, they were trying to take him out. And he didn't survive too long after. But the first thing he said when he woke up was, "Coach, I'm ready to go in the game." That was kind of one of the last quotes that he had. So again, what a strong history. And this is back from the 30s. And he played on that team with Smuckler, but they actually went and played pro football teams all around the country.
That's really
cool. Different world.
Yeah, I mean, look, it would be easy to just run down a list of guys who had Division I scholarships and start putting them in one by one. But you start uncovering players, and look, you played at Colgate, right? So I mean,
yes.
you start uncovering players from that different era, the work that goes into that, and obviously, I know this is a board of volunteers doing this work. It's pretty incredible. Why you do the banquet, right? It's great to celebrate it, obviously. What is the reception you get from people who come to one of these banquets, Nick? I know is that they can still buy tickets to be part of this great event on August 9th.
We historically get well over 200 people. And what's really awesome about this event is the ability to see people that they haven't seen for years.
Yeah.
So we kind of do like a finger food type of thing, not a sit down meal. Everybody gets up and grabs their food, but everyone just loves to kind of get around and talk to everybody. And the history of the years of people that keep coming back. And what I like when we start the ceremony, we bring in all the past inductees, and the amount of people that show up every year is so powerful. And again, if you think about the names and not only the ones on this list, but the ones that are the coaches and the officials that come back, it's just such a great event to just sit back and kind of, let people just kind of talk and get to know each other again. And so we do like a cocktail hour, everybody just kind of talks. Then we do the coaches and the team and the service to football. But then we have to take another break because people just can't wait to kind of get up and have that reminiscent time again. And then we do the players. So it's probably one of my favorite events. We've held a lot of things, with the scholar football dinners and things of that nature, which about, and the Hall of Fame event. This is by far just history. If anybody could come to it, you leave feeling great about yourself, but just great about Section 2 football and just a great family feel, which is pretty neat.
I love that. Nick, thank you, man. All the work you guys do in order to keep this thing going. You said 15 years, but now 12 as a banquet or an induction ceremony, if you will, I guess.
I'm only 30, so I don't know how 15 years. Let's see. If that goes back 15. I'm only kidding. That means I'm getting old, too. I'm getting to be that next group of guy that has to get the next younger guys ready.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, and another impressive list you've got here of names that people who have been around the area for a little bit will certainly know, and stories like you mentioned of Don Wemple, stories you may not know, but there's a ton there to learn and appreciate as well. Nick, thank you, man. Be well as always, and I hope we'll see each other in person soon.
Thanks again.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on. For cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair, you can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
The great thing about Novice is no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable.
This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alphen House.
Again, Capital Region Football Hall of Fame banquet coming on August 9th. Nick Fitzgerald,
Football.
Good guy. Love catching up with him a little bit when we can. And a class that includes Matt Shell and Gary Vanderzee, coaches that you and I covered extensively.
No doubt.
At 13.
Great humans, number one.
Yeah.
And then great at what they
do.
Number 2.
Yep, for sure. Aaron Judge's been pretty good at what he is doing. 96 games at the All-Star break, 355. It's not that long ago we were in 400. The 390s and 400, but
this is what
when
happens.
You're up that high, it falls much more quickly than it climbs. He's still first in average. He's second in home runs behind Cal Raleigh's 38. Judge has 35. Judge is second in RBIs behind Cal Raleigh, 82 to 81. He's first in OPS. Raleigh is second and a close second, and he's first in hits. So I said earlier in the show, I think
the
now
aren't that different. You're saying
the MVP race should be a lot closer than maybe we're thinking about it. And again, thanks FanDuel in New York, I can't find those numbers on my betting app, but I bet Judge is still a heavy favorite to win MVP. And look, Seattle, my opinion is, you got to get to the playoffs. Otherwise, what's the value? All you've done is sold tickets and merchandise. So,
I mean, if you've won them games, just not enough games, there's a difference. Like if
you've made the draft slot worse, is what you've done by not making the playoffs. There's nothing worse in sports.
Don't be that person.
Than mediocrity. You either have to be good,
but he's not trying to be mediocre.
I know that. But again, I just say, what's the value of a guy who has a great season, but the team is not,
Yeah, but when you're talking about like WAR, that's a number that baseball cares about.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I can get behind WAR and there being whatever that value is there. Yeah. And so look, I'm still saying Seattle is not currently in the, but I think, and we said earlier in the season, there's always this thing of voter fatigue. And is that why people vote for Cal Raleigh? He's a switch hitting catcher.
What's his average? I know you're going to say average doesn't matter.
No, I'm not going to say
it
completely.
If all things are equal.
Probably in the 260s.
So here's the deal. If all things are equal, essentially, if you end up within 2 or 3 home runs of one another, 2 or 3 RBIs of one another.
259.
It's a full 100 points. If that's the only thing that differentiates you, then guess where the MVP goes? 100 points better on an average. Like, I know average isn't that important, but if all things are the same, then 100-point average is a lot different. It's the one thing that makes you different. It's going to go to Judge. But those numbers could all come down, and maybe the home run pace slows for Judge and continues for Raleigh. And yeah.
Okay. This is interesting here. Tampa Bay, and we didn't really know. We're waiting for word from Major League Baseball. Finally got it during the All-Star break that, yes, if the Rays make the playoffs, they are clear to go from baseball to host those games at not even a minor league park. This is a
it's where
spring training facility.
But it's where the Rays minor league team also plays. Like the Tarpons play there or something, I believe.
Okay. 10,000 capacity. And to your point, like, boy,
so
it would be really.
Even just a playoff
really something
game.
If they get a World Series game,
like a
there.
10,000 seat stadium, you're gonna try to get Major League. Like, could you imagine? So good. I just love the idea.
Are you rooting for the Rays to make the playoffs now?
No.
Not at the Yankees' expense. But,
no. Okay. But I just think it's funny that it would be the Tampa Bay Rays playing playoff games at Steinbrenner Field, and every time it's like George looms over it, and everyone thinks of the Yankees when you're playing playoff games at Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that they'd even just be playing regular season games there this year, which they are.
It is funny.
Playoff games.
Yep.
I'm surprised you don't move the game somewhere else.
Yeah,
if you
got to
make
go
the
somewhere else,
playoffs,
right? If I'm the Rays,
the Marlins aren't
we don't want to
getting
play
in.
here.
You go to Miami.
Yeah, we don't want to play
The
here.
Braves aren't getting in. You go to Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know
which is closer.
But you don't want to play. I would, if you're them and you're a bad Tampa Bay fan base, which they are. Mm-hmm. You're still not. You're going to sell 5,000 tickets or 10,000 tickets in Atlanta to go see a Rays something else game. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to sell tickets? You're not going to sell tickets in Miami. Maybe in Atlanta where you have like good baseball fans. But even then, unless you're playing the Braves, who cares?
Yeah, or the Yankees.
And you're not playing the Braves.
Right, a national brand.
You're just, and nobody wants to see a baseball game in front of 10,000 fans in a 40,000 fan stadium. Put them in it. Give me 10,000 fans in a 10,000 seat stadium.
Yeah. At
least it feels full.
Yeah. All right, quickly here, a look at the odds to win the Open Championship. Scheffler's the favorite. Of a fall off here pretty quickly after Rory.
Yep.
I like Rahm to win it. My money's on Bryson, so I'm rooting for him as much as people will hate that. These are the only guys that are below plus 3,000.
That's crazy.
Not a ton of them on your screen right now. And of course, Scotty Scheffler's comments
overwhelming
in the pre-tournament press conference about, what motivates him, what gives him joy. The feeling of winning was like, it's a few minutes.
Yeah.
And
but he's basically
that's
like
not fulfilling me.
But he's basically saying like you're addicted to it because it's only for a few minutes and then you go back to like fighting the good fight.
Yep.
Like that's kind of depressing.
I know. Yeah, he said winning does not fulfill him. I thought, man, all right.
The money sure would.
Yeah, he's got family now, and so I
get
think
it, but like
his point. But
he's made so much money that if winning really didn't fulfill him and he didn't love golf enough, and I don't know that it's that he doesn't love golf enough. I just think it's winning doesn't fulfill him. He could retire at the age of 40 and live a wonderful life, enjoying his family and doing all the nicest things.
For sure.
Because of how much money he has already won.
Yep. All right, background after this on Onorato and Miller. Sean Wilcoxon, Performance Industrial. It's the Freedom Classic on July 28th at Van Patten. You can still sign up to play, to go watch, to sponsor, all for a good cause, and it's got an interesting twist to it. That's next.
Life is about making memories. It's about sharing special moments with those we love and cherishing those moments forever. So whether you're gathering the family around a new patio set or grilling a meal they'll never forget, we can help you design a space that is as beautiful and as special as the memories you create. Visit Alpenhaus on Route 30 in Amsterdam and Clifton Park Center, and let us handle the heavy lifting. Take advantage of free local delivery and we'll haul away your old grill or patio furniture.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
You've heard of the Folds of Honor Golf Tournament. You've heard of Drive Out Cancer. All of them a partnership of Folds of Honor and some way or another Performance Industrial. Sean Wilcoxon, is with us now for Freedom Classic. This is a cool idea, Sean, that you guys have come up with here. There are a bunch of golf tournaments. They all seem to serve a really good purpose in a lot of ways, but you're going to give the winner the opportunity to choose the charity. That's right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's something that we have seen out there before, so I'm not going to take 100% credit before. We have seen it out there before, but we have a great partnership with Van Patten, and then through that partnership with Van Patten, we had the opportunity to do a golf outing. And so when we were throwing it off, like the idea of people coming out to play for the charity that they want just serves so many needs. It puts eyes on all charities because we can hear about who everybody's playing for, and then nobody loses when somebody wins, because somebody is going to be able to give to the charity of their choice, and just going to make them even more excited, play even harder, and make it even that much more fun.
I mentioned Folds, American Cancer Society is Drive Out Cancer. Obviously, St. Jude is a charity certainly that would be available to people here as well. We're talking about Monday, July 28th, 9 o'clock, as you said. Van Patten. Sean, you're a busy guy with the phone going, man.
Yeah,
Blessings Tavern, Tinny's.
In the Tinny's Tavern right now, and obviously we are closed right now, so that's why I didn't pick up the phone. But yeah, I mean, it's busy. It's been wonderful to be a part of all of these things, and to be able to bring people together to do this. So Performance Industrial gets behind so many things. American Cancer Society, Folds of Honor. And those we're behind, right? We're supporting them as theirs. This one is the first one that is Performance Industrial. So Performance Industrial is the host of this outing versus a sponsor of. And so this is hopefully something that people catch on to. We kept the cost very low this year in the fact that we want people to play. We're taking 100% of the proceeds, even though the cost is low, in true Performance Industrial fashion with Bill and Karen supporting us. All the money raised is going directly to the cause, whatever cause that is. So again, happy to be behind our Performance Industrial's first golf outing that we're hosting. Really excited to be partners with Van Patten and getting it done. And, hoping it's going to be a smaller field this year, but in the years to come, we hope to, Van Patten's got 27 holes and would love to take up all of them.
Which is why I should point out, this year, years going forward, sponsorships available, foursomes to sign up and play. We will have all that information on our website, wnyt.com. And obviously, Sean, this is something that's not new to you, running a golf tournament like this. What have you noticed as a sponsor of other golf tournaments, the benefits have been for a company to take part in something like this?
Well, there's, the opportunity to meet people, and obviously, yeah, you can come to a golf outing. You can get on your golf cart and play with your 4 people. And if you decide, that it's just your thing, that you want to go play some golf and not touch base with anybody, we'll take those. But we really want people to come together, for the common good, to talk about their charities, the whys behind their charities, and ultimately, as we all know, when you have to start having those discussions, it's like, hey, what do you do? How did you hear about us? And then all of a sudden is how do you know that person? Oh, let's get involved with this. And, one hand scratches the other's back. And, being in the capital region, if you're part of the not-for-profit or, fundraising community capital region, that term small money is never bigger than in the fundraising aspect of things, because everybody knows everybody that's a part of it. And you know what? They respect people that put themselves out there, that support the local community. And ultimately they help each other. So, yeah, I mean, we've grown some great business relationships out of that, and that's definitely an untold perk, but it's not the reason. And the reason this year is to hear about why people are playing for what charity, and then those charities ultimately can give back. And who knows who's going to win this year? I don't even think we've named who we're going to be playing for as Performance Industrial. We'll have a couple teams out there, but we're really looking forward to giving to whoever.
Let me ask you one more thing on this here. As a company that gives back as often as Performance Industrial does, what is it you feel you get out of it? And you mentioned Bill and Karen Miller already, the satisfaction, right? I've said in many different mixed groups, like volunteering, if you do it correctly, is a selfish act because you feel so good after you've done it. What do you feel in terms of what you get out of this as a person who lives in this community?
I mean, all you need to do is, instead of, continuing that conversation when your local not-for-profit has, sends the email out or has that conversation or puts somebody up behind the podium, and listen to the stories of the effects that you have on anybody, whether it be somebody that, had and beat cancer because of the money that you raised and that the research that went behind it, or you hear a heart-wrenching story of a Gold Star wife or mom who lost a son or husband in the war that chose to keep us free, and that, because of the work that we do with Folds of Honor, we help to take the burden of some, education expense off of them, or any one of the thousands of other great reasons. You just have to understand what it's about. And it's not easy. It's hard. It adds another layer to your workday. But like you said, when you stop and listen and reflect on, I have the opportunity to do this because of somebody else that's struggling, whether it's physically, with illness, with death, anything like that, it is selfless, because it's like, okay, there's a reason I should be here. And then on top of it, it's not hard to go and play golf. I mean, have a couple of drinks and run around the course. That's the easy part. So getting, maybe building up and planning it is the tough part, but then getting a chance to play golf, give money back, everything else comes behind it.
You've never seen me play golf, dude. That is the painful part.
All right, well, maybe it'd be difficult for you and people watching you even less. But either way, I mean, you go to a golf outing, all you hear is laughter at some point. Somebody, playing golf with Chris so we can make fun of you on every hole. Like, that's fun. That's exciting.
No doubt, man. July 28th, it's a Monday at Van Patten. It's called the Freedom Classic, big drive for charity, and it's run by Performance Industrial, now taking the lead here, if you will, or putting, its name, its business at the forefront here, instead of all the support that it continues to give year round, and maybe doesn't get as much attention as it should as a company. Sean, thank you, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm Jeff Uglick. I'm owner of Bevs, and we're a beverage center in upstate New York. You're just going to have that wow component when you come in, like, wow, look at this place. It's bright, it's clean, it has everything that I need. Consumer is king. Be able to provide them a friendly environment and a place to shop, no matter where they are, whether they're down here in Saratoga or whether they're up in Queensbury. You're always going to get the same experience when you shop at Bevs. At the end of the day, if you walk in your stores, you're going to see a lot of people that have a lot of pride.
The great thing about Novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable.
This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alphen House.
Final minute to go here on Onorato and Miller for the week. And again, that's July 28th at Performance Industrial Golf Outing at Van Patten. WNYT.com has all the information. Jets are all in.
All in.
On their young stars. Both these guys drafted the same year, top 10. Sauce went 4. Garrett went 10. And they both get big paydays. Sauce Gardner is now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. And Garrett Wilson is top 5.
Not bad.
So they are all in. Maybe more on that next week on Onorato and Miller. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend.